We are Alan and Juliet, senior neuroscience and behavior majors at the University of Notre Dame.
We will be talking about how environmental trauma affects human brain development and the incredible power of resilience to overcome these experiences through organizations such as the South Bend nonprofit Connect to Be the Change.
So, Connect to Be the Change offers therapeutic services and environments to youth, young adults, and families who have been affected by gun violence. Connect to Be the Change is an activist organization that encourages and empowers young adults across the country to become productive and contributing members to their community. They create and maintain sustainable peer-to-peer environment that encourages youth and young adults in the community to seek healing and therapeutic environments that assist them to build new and healthy social, emotional, and behavioral skills.
This video shares their unique environmental experiences, along with the neuroscience behind such trauma exposure.
I'm Ariel. I'm Takesha.
I'm D. Rose.
I'm Sosa.
Okay, so what were some of your favorite memories of childhood?
When we would go to Six Flags, my mom used to like to go out of town, take us out of town a lot. And so going to Six Flags was a good experience for me. Yeah, I would say coming here, cause like previously I told y'all, me and my sister not from here. My mom and dad were separated, so we stayed in Georgia during the school year and stuff, and then in the summer we would come here. So probably coming here and spending time with my dad's side of the family.
Me, I should say the little bit of time that I had playing sports growing up as a little kid before it got. Other than that, it was like the sports for me. I was a sports type of kid.
And you play football, right?
Football, boxing, and basketball, wrestling.
I don't know. I got a lot of family, so I don't know. I don't know for real. I was a bad kid, so being bad, that was my favorite part of my childhood. Not like to just, usual kid stuff. Throw some rocks at the car and stuff.
Next one is, did you grow up in an environment where you felt safe?
No. We didn't grow up in an environment. Not we, but myself and my brother. We didn't grow up in an environment that was safe. I mean, there was a lot of molesting and beatings, and like we would get in trouble for just doing kid things, So we were not safe at all. Me, I would say yes and no. No, but like I said, like when I was younger, being molested and stuff. And yes, like, cause when I finally came out and told my family, like it was a relief that they believed me and they stepped in and did something. So I mean, that's the best enough part for me.
No. Bullets was fine. No.
Yeah. My mom ain't play by this. He was safe. I feel like, but like where you grew up at, where I grew up, it wasn't safe as far as that, but as far as like in my household, yeah, I was safe. Yeah.
What about like the external environment? You said like in your house was safe, but what about the environment like around you? Like, did you feel safe, or like what was like instances you didn't feel safe? Do you have any stories about that?
Where we come from is, it ain't even like you grow up feeling like you not even knowing you not safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you not safe, but we not even thinking of it like we not safe, because this is what we going through every day. You know what I'm saying? Get shot at, all type of just little bullshit, but
Do you have more to say about that?
Yeah, it was similar to that. Like, you just don't know if you're safe or not. I just take it as no, it wasn't safe. Cause the stuff I was doing as kids, even though I played the sports and stuff, after the sports, I was still outside, going everywhere unattended.
But that's the crazy part again, cause like we know we not safe, but in our heads we think it like this is normal to us. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we can't say we don't feel like we not safe, cause we going through this every day, but we still going outside every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right. And so when in like the technical, because I mean we're sitting here talking about it, but technically, by what you would say, you would not feel safe.
Right.
Even though I mean, there were just 50 gunshots on my street just 2 days ago. You know what I mean? And first thing, I'm outside trying to make sure people is okay, cause it's normal. It's, you know what I mean? But technically speaking, no, it's not. It's not safe, and it's still not safe, even today. Like I pay attention to when I go home. A lot of times I have to go around the block a few times. You know what I mean? Because I have to pay attention, because you just don't know. People are just riding through shooting at people, just to be shooting at people. So even today, my environment is not safe. But I can move, but it costs a lot, and you know what I mean, all the extra stuff, but I don't want to move. This is where I grew up, and it's home. So I don't want to move. But what do you do?
try to make our community better. You know what I'm saying? That's what we working on.
Tell them here that till I just okay.
Not there the way. They gonna get us up out of here.
Right. Like going off of that, do you have any personal experiences with gun violence, or do you know of anyone else who's experienced gun violence?
Okay. Why you close your eyes like that?
Awesome.
No. So, my personal experience with gun violence started in 2000. Started in 99. But my brother was shot and killed in January 24, 2002. And that was one thing. He was shot 5 times in the face. And then I was shot in my knee in October of 2002. And then my godson was shot and killed in Indianapolis in 2011. And then my cousin was shot and killed in St. Louis. And then my son was shot and killed in 2017. And then my oldest son is in prison for retaliating. And so dealing with the violence makes you a little violent. I mean, it makes you violent. I mean, that's all we knew. And I'm speaking for myself and my brother, but in my household. But all we knew was violent because, like, you know, growing up violent, then this person being shot, that person being shot, I'm done got shot. It's violent. And you don't know how to deal with any kind of altercation other than being violent. It's how it affected me growing up. And so when my son got shot and killed, it was like a breaking point for myself. And so I knew I needed to do something. And I guess just the way I was made, or I don't know, but I care a lot about, I care a lot about how people deal with certain things.
So, 2017, June 6th, I got caught for shooting somebody due to an altercation. I went to jail for it, but it's like, I don't know, it's still traumatized me to this day. I was just bad. I just grew up where they said they hit you, hit back. So I took it as with that gun. It's just like it's the same thing. So I just felt like what I was doing at the time was righteous for me. So I just felt like that's what I'm finna do, and that's when it all started. So it was altercation. It was supposed to be some fighting. It wasn't no more fighting. And I told him, check it out. He checked it out. I bent him down. Ran. I was a bad kid. I ran. I didn't know what to do. I just took off running, took off all my clothes, hid them in the trash can, and I ran to the safe house. They came to the safe house. Tell him come out or we coming in. And I'm like, from this day forward, me being a little kid, I'm like, life just got real. So when I came out, I knew what I signed up for, so took me down there, asked me all these questions. I ain't got no rap. What y'all finna do with me? I'm finna go home, or y'all take me to that place. So they took me to that place. I went to that place. I'm like, oh, this is sweet. I got 6 months boys school. I woke up one morning. They like, you got court. I go to court. They like, ain't no more JJC. I'm like, I ain't 18 though. I ain't no more JJC. Take him across the street. They took me to the big house. So I'm looking like, wow, I'm in here for this. This what gun violence get me. This what this get me. But then I was still young and dumb. And I don't care. They messed up. They let a demon out. They let me out. Gave me, think, 2 years house arrest. House arrest ain't last that long. I was still going to jail for guns, getting in trouble. I went back. So I'm like, this ain't nothing. But I do want to go home, though. So I was being good. 10 months later, they let me out. Then when life really got real, I'm trying to go get high with a friend, smoke some weed. I go over there. Something telling me the whole time, don't go over there. I go over there. He acting strange. Honey, brother. Why you acting so? You know, my grandma tripping, she tripping. So I'm like, all right, me and cuz, we just finna leave. So we called the ride that took us there right back. And as I get this gut feeling, like, man, so I'm straight. So I'm like, just take me up Twickenham and take me home. Don't go that way. I just think the police. Well, we just came that way. Well, you were here good. We got license. Nah, take me up Twickenham so I can go home. She like, nah, I'm so slow. I'm worried about this when I should have just got out the car. So with me, I ain't have a brain at the time. I wasn't thinking. I was a little slow, so I'm like, if that part went over my head, I'm just thinking about like, man, take me this way. So she went that way, and I just had a feeling. As soon as we get on Miami, we turn to left. She thought she was Lightning McQueen. She did a drift so crazy. Drift. Oh my God, they get right behind us. A regular car, I'm like, oh, that's them. I'm like, please make it right, let me out. She, I ain't doing that. What? Man, make it right, make this right. So she finally make it right and pull all the way over. They hit the like, whoop. So now that's before I'm panicking. I'm thinking about what I do. Light bulb came on. I'm finna run. Me and this gun. I ran. It got bad. 5 seconds later, I slip all in the snow all in the face here. And I'm just, in my head, I'm like, they gunning people down. I got this big gun, and I'm a kid, and I just feel. If I get up and he think he seen something, I'm like, he's gonna shoot me down. So I just laid there. From that day forward, I went to the big house. I went to the federal penitentiary. But the good part about that is when I went there, it gave me like the peace of mind I needed. It gave me the knowledge I needed for this time now, for when I got out. So when I got out, it's like, that's what did it to teach me a lesson now. And that's what made me what I am today, make me and this lady and this organization to a perfection. And it's like, it still helped me to this day. Because, you know, sometimes I get a little sidetracked, because, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, from all that happened, some stuff confidential, but all the stuff that didn't happen, it's like, that last time taught me a valuable lesson about this whole situation that we going through right now. I want to do something to prevent gun violence, because it's not what's up. Whether you on this side of the gun or that side of the gun, it's not what's up. And for me, coming from both sides, I want to prevent the people that's coming up to, like, don't be on those sides. Like, do something good with your life, because it's not what's up. You get two rewards, jail or the grave. And don't no parent want to go through that with their child, or no family member, period. And it's been helping me, so that's what I got from it. I'm trying to keep on elevating and leave the darkness where it's at.
Oh, yeah, everybody I know got experience with gun violence. I don't know, you know. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I done been shot. My little brother done been shot. I got dead friends. We just recently lost a friend a couple months ago. You know, I done been to jail for guns, been to prison. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, where we come from, how you grew up. But yeah, I done had experience with gun violence, so I ain't gonna go too far into it though.
Only personal experience I got, when I used to go to parties when I was younger, and they used to just come shoot the parties up. That's it. Not too major. I mean, that is major, but not like them.
That's major. But it's fly. They got no
They
name.
just was like, they be shooting outside the building and stuff, trying to make everybody run, all that.
They ain't shooting in the air. They shooting whole
No,
party.
that was, back then, I was like 15, 16.
Wow.
What?
I was here. Yeah, look, when I was used to go to work out here, like that.
Well, you said where? Where that's at?
Pinhill Park, Pinhill,
Where that's at?
on the north side.
Oh, not that much.
Why? That section.
No, so the experience with gun violence though, and I'm speaking on because of what I know now, but before, as I said before, experiencing gun violence, it makes you violent.
Right.
You know what I mean? You feel like you have no other choice but to defend yourself, because when you come from where we come from, you're black, for number one, and so people look at you as a violent person anyway. We're automatically violent, we're intimidating just by the way we look. And so you call the police and they're not gonna do too much of anything, you know what I mean? Like, and they don't, and it's not an assumption that we have. It literally is what happens. You can call the police, they're shooting, and they come and be like, oh, well, you got something to say? Well, who were they? Well, what did they do? Like, when somebody is shooting, people don't just stand there and stare at him and see, oh, he got a tattoo right there and his eyes, you're ducking. You know what I mean? You're moving around. So, but the police, the interactions that we've had with the police, it did nothing. And so you're taught also, when you go to church and they read in the Bible, an eye for an eye. And it's only for, it seems like it's only for specific people. It's only an eye for just for specific people. I'm not just saying just white people. I'm saying an eye for an eye, it only goes for people that are not black. You know what I mean? If you're black, you can take it. You can handle that. Oh, you guys know it. But if you're not black, if someone it's an eye for an eye. They shoot you, you better shoot their ass back. You know what I mean? That's how people are taught. And so being a black woman raising 5 kids by myself, I had to protect my kids, my home, and I grew up in a unsafe environment. And of course, my kids grew up in an unsafe environment. So I had to be the mom and the dad. And by any means, I'm gonna make sure my kids are protected. And it's not that I was just out here doing all kind of crazy stuff. It's the environment is wild. And so like people could be riding by and shooting. Or people could be, it's Christmas time now. People come kicking your door trying to steal stuff because they want to eat. You know what I mean? And so I have to protect my home by any means necessary. And if I have to be violent, then I'm going to be violent. You know what I mean? And so that's the way we grew up. Like that's how you grow up, is you gotta be protective and violent. And so these are like the aftermaths of dealing with gun violence. And even when you try to do it in a productive way, you don't want to do it in a violent way. But if someone hits you, what are you gonna do? You hit back, right? And so if someone shoots, they may not even be shooting at you, but they're shooting at you, what are you gonna do? You're gonna shoot back. You know what I mean? So that is a big, it's an uphill battle, like trying to deal with the unnecessary violence that goes on. It definitely is an uphill battle. But then you also got to sit back and think, and I want this on camera, you also got to sit back and think, just about 3, maybe 4 years ago, never heard of a switch. Never ever heard of it. Nobody ever heard of no switch. There was nothing. All of a sudden, the hood is flooded with switches. How does that, you cannot walk in no home. There may be a home, but for the most part, you're not walking in not one home in no hood or urban community where they're manufacturing guns. You're not gonna find it. How is it that a switch, a little piece of metal that is just now being made to make a handgun, an automatic weapon, how is that flooded in the urban areas? We're not making them. You know what I mean? So how are we getting them? I can walk outside. I can leave here and come back with 4 switches in my pocket. That's how easy you can get them. You know what I mean? So like, well, why? Why is that? Why is that the urban area is flooded with guns and you can't find not a black person in their home manufacturing a gun? But you can go find about 37 of them in somebody's house, though. Just like to leave that there.
And then it be so crazy, because, you know how, like, we go to jail and they always give us these little cards, want us to go to these groups, and we felons, we not supposed to carry no guns, but, like, bro, we not finna die out here. We not finna die out here.
It won't be an easy kill.
Right.
It's not gonna be an easy kill. I'm gonna fight for my life like any and everybody else.
It's just like how do you? It's no right. It's like you can't win like that, bro. Like they don't give us no chances, bro. If me or him get caught with a gun, we go to jail for 15 years. You feel me? Like, but even as to say we is carrying a gun, we ain't out here trying to hurt nobody, bro. We just people out here trying to hurt people, and we know this. So,
and it also can be of some of the mistakes. There's bad decisions. I've made some bad decisions. You know what I mean? And so there are people that don't like me because of something I did previously. And I had to choose lesser of the 2 evils. All I had was 5 different evil things to choose from. So I had to pick and choose out of that. But as I got older and realized, okay, I ain't trying to do that. I don't want to do that.
But the person that I hurt don't know that I want to switch it up. Look, I'm cool. I'm done. I'm out of that. I've made bad choices or whatever, and I want to move on. The person I hurt don't know that. So they're still angry. You know what I mean? They're still mad about what I did 4 years ago or even 2 years ago. But I've chose to do something different. But that person still want to hurt me. So am I supposed to just be like, no, I'm not going to protect myself? Because no, I have to still protect myself. You know what I mean? If that, you know.
You remember, man, he was my teacher at Studebaker, Mr. Stokes.
Mm-hmm.
The dude that tried to kill him and his son and went to prison for all that time and got out, and Mr. Stokes killed him at the Southeast Side reunion.
Oh, yeah.
And he did like 20 years.
Yeah. Yep. And that is reality for us. You know what I mean? It's like a little mini, but it's not just us.
No.
Our stuff is just publicized more. You know what I mean? It's more in the public view, because you go look at different races. Chinese people kill Chinese people. White people kill white people. Hell, white people kill white people more than black people kill black people. You know, every ethnic background, every race of people kill each other. It's just we are more in the media. They put us, you know, as that. It's almost like modern day lynching. You know what I mean? But and it's just our reality. So it's not a oh woe is me moment. It's not a oh feel sorry or feel pity. It's just the reality, and we know it. We know this is the reality. They do modern day lynchings with black people. Let's just show them out here looking crazy and show them out here doing stuff. But do you know how many people that die by a white man's hand when they go shoot up a school? I mean,
For real though,
you know what I mean? So
bulletproof vests on them, all type
right,
of shit.
and then like there'll be 26 homicides in South Bend. Last year there was like 26 homicides. That's a lot, but it's not. 26 black on black crime, 26 homicides. There was about 200, 300 little white kids killed at the hands of another white kid.
With the biggest federal
something
gun
like that,
ever.
Right.
Shotgun.
So this brings
Used to be
about
17 years.
This brings about our states of mind, the state of mind, the brain, and what we go through, and all of the stuff that we have to think about. A lot of black people have post-traumatic slave disorder. It's actually a thing. You can look it up on YouTube. And you have, like, my great-great-great-grandmother and my great-grandmother were slaves, and they were in the house. And then there was, like, our grandfathers who were in the fields. And so, like, there's that whole, they got beat in the worst kind of ways and all of that. And our parents, we got beat with extension cords. And you know what I'm saying?
Like, that's what I be telling people.
we
But
got
that,
beat.
we be, bro, and it be crazy because we'd be sitting, like, talking about having, like, we go to her house, we have family dinner every Sunday. This is the type of stuff we sit around and talk about. We sitting around and laugh and talk about how we used to get our ass beat. Like, not whoopings, not punish, like, beat for real. This shit funny to us because, like, this is normal life. This is what we think. This is what all us seen growing up. You know what I'm saying? This is what you seen your grandma do. You feel me?
And this is what happened to them in slavery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so the people, oh well, what about the Egyptian slaves and white people were slaves? Everybody was slaves, but who was sitting there watching their black men being bent over logs and ramshacked by a white man in front of their family? Who was watching the women stand there with their babies because they couldn't pick cotton the way they needed to because they was 9 months pregnant and about to have a baby? The man lined them up and just cut the baby out, watch the baby flop on the ground. Like, who was going through that? Other slaves, what other slaves going through that? And then the grandparents, all of that stuff is passed down. And like I said, this is not a woe is me. All this stuff is passed down. So like you said, we sitting up here laughing about being beat. But you couldn't imagine your mama beating you with extension cord because you broke the vacuum cleaner on accident. Like you vacuumed something up that you didn't see, and now you got to get beat with an extension cord because she think it's okay because it happened to her. They got beat, and then their mama was beating them because they was being beat with whips and everything else. You know what I mean? And so it just goes down into each generation, and so now here we are wanting to stop it, and this is like one of the ways for us to help stop some of that stuff. And it dissolves right into gun violence. It goes right into it.
Man, I swear to God, if I felt like South Bend can be, I wouldn't be worried about walking around with no weapon. I don't need one. I don't want to die. I don't want to kill nobody, but I want to live for sure.
For sure.
So
I'm protecting myself. Send me to jail
straight up.
before I die and leave people.
But and it's crazy though, like to have that type of mindset. That's like that shit fucked up, man. But this our reality though. Real shit.
I still can see my family and my daughter
You know what I'm saying?
behind the wall. If I go on that ground, I'll never get to see them again before I let somebody just play with my life like that. I call it protecting me. They call that violence. Then
And that's what I'm
call
saying,
it
gang.
violence.
Like
I'm
they
protecting
say
myself.
that's what they say. We supposed to have the right to protect ourselves, but we don't. You don't.
They expect me
You
just to
feel
let
me?
somebody walk up on me,
What the hell?
shoot me in my face, I die, and they expect me while I'm dead to say, well, you should have told authorities. Man, if you don't quit playing, he think to play with me, I'm going to protect myself.
And then tell the authorities what? If
Exactly.
y'all paid, I challenge people, and I hope this piece can get edited in there too, but I challenge people to pay attention to some of the first 48s and some of these crime shows and the court shows, and going into a courtroom and they're telling people, oh yeah, you tell the police, let them help do the crime, figure out the crime, tell the police. And then you have people that tell the police, and right there in the courtroom they be like, oh, he's just a jailhouse snitch.
I get from it.
That
I
is
get
so
from
it's so backwards, because you're not a snitch if you help us solve the crime, but if you do snitch and help solve the crime, when you go sit in the courtroom, the lawyer is gonna call you a jailhouse snitch. When the police is doing things that they have no business doing, when they are breaking the law, which one of they homies go tell? And what happens when they go tell? So if the head of the household, if the head of the community cannot model what they're saying they want their people, what they want their people to do, what makes you think that the people is gonna model what they saying that we should do? Why should we do it and you don't? You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
They don't even help us. They want us to tell them what's going on for their benefits, so you can feed your family. But we
try to try to help them out. We might end up locked up.
So like, some people do call the authorities, and when they do call the authorities, they come out there, they want to ask you 50,000 questions why this man laying here bleeding out to death. You asking me what's going on? Who shot him? Man, save his life. They don't come like us. I feel like we do more saving people from gun violence than the people that's actually supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. But then they get mad at us when we like.
That's because they don't know. We know the people that's doing the gun violence. They don't know that.
And they doing it too.
They definitely doing it.
They hang us from the ropes. They gun us down for saying, "Oh, I seen something in his pocket. That could have been my phone." And you shoot me down, and they protect you while you locked up, or you don't even go to jail.
No, they ain't going to jail, though.
Or you got a private court and all type of stuff. Like, they keep you protected from everything.
They going to.
But they don't do that to the community. They don't do that to the world. Y'all don't protect us from that, but y'all protect them.
The world's just fucked up, man. Especially for people like us. No.
On my own protection.
And so we try, and doing this is us trying to help ourselves and others. And then that brings about that resilience. How do you even do that? When you have like the weight of the world on your shoulders all the time. You run around trying to savage and scavenge and survive, and we can't even thrive. You know what I mean? We can't even thrive, but we still trying to do something to help somebody else.
We could change, bro.
It's like everybody from the street started these gun violent organizations.
I like that.
So it's
Say that one more. Wait. Say that one more time.
We could change, bro. They don't want to help us because of
Please
who
make
it
sure that's on
is.
there.
You feel me? They see me and him. No.
Automatic
Bro, we can
stereotype.
change, bro.
Hair, height,
You know what I'm saying?
black skin, automatically stereotype. I'm not gonna lie, I'm keeping it 100.
It's the
When
people
I
for me.
first met them, I stereotyped the hell out of them. I told her, I'm not going back. No. But you have to actually get to know people. And I'm like, when you do, like, you never know.
They come here and look at us like cold-blooded killers
What?
until you get to spend a weekend with us.
Man,
Rolling.
And y'all gotten to know us. You know what I mean? Y'all have gotten to hang out and see. It's not that. And you would think
Gonna leave
you
with
would
friends,
think
remember.
that people would like to see organizations like this thrive, because people can. It ain't even about like changing yourself, because I feel like they are awesome human beings. We all are awesome, and there's so much to give. And if y'all could just see what I see with them, I'd be like, if we could just get a chance, they could literally be so successful if people would just give them a chance. But because of the mistakes and the bad decision making, it's like, nope, you can never get better. No, but that's not true. It's so not true.
How's your environment different or similar to where it was in your childhood? It's like, how's it different now?
It's still the same.
And
it is, but it ain't though. Cause like when we was kids, like we could still like, I don't know, kids different now though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kid, it ain't. I don't even think it's the kids. These like kids is killing people. We wasn't killing people. We was doing kid shit.
whoop you at the fair.
That's it. That's the most we was doing was fighting. But like now it's
they don't
different.
Get a chance to be kids. Like
Right.
you don't see. When I was little, we was outside playing with in the grass, in the dirt, all type of stuff. You don't see that now.
Yep.
You see them in the streets, girls being fast, all type of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Little kids can't even, you used to go by and see the little kids at the parks playing. It's hard to
They
find
be
little
empty.
kids at the parks playing.
Man, listen.
anymore.
Let me tell y'all
unless
something.
you go by Memorial.
I had my baby shower at the park in the community that I grew up in. Bro, they shot the baby shower up. Like for real. We ain't out here doing my whole family. There's other families at the park. Like how the hell my baby shower get shot up? We ain't out here doing nothing. It's just like that type of stuff make people don't even want to take their kids to the park. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to go to the park when we was kids. Like when I was a kid, we ain't need our mama to go to the park. I got a million cousins. We 30 deep going to the park. They don't even want to take their kids to the park no more. You can't even blame them, for real. You can't blame them. I seen the videos, a lady was at, I think, Howard Park with her kids, and there was some, like, 6 little kids up there, bad as hell, though.
Cussing.
Up there with guns, they cussing the lady out, all type of shit. Like, don't nobody want to put up with that shit. And then you can't even, like, when I was growing up, a grown person could tell a kid, what is you doing? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even tell no kid. You can't say nothing to no kid.
They gonna cuss you out.
Man, they might have a gun.
Man.
Fuck, cuss you out. They might have a gun. You better not say nothing to no kid.
I say it's worse.
It is worse, bro.
Me growing up, y'all two into it. Y'all gonna kill each other. Y'all ain't gonna kill me. I can walk down the street. Now, you gonna kill everybody up in here because you got a gun, don't know how to use it, young or dumb. You shoot everything out here for the wrong image, and it's so terrible now.
And it's
you
crazy,
can't
bro,
walk
because they
no
kids, bro. They don't even know.
It was
like-
a car that came down the street, and it's a bunch of kids on my street. And the car stopped and asked these little kids, they 10, 11, 12 years old, what side of town they from? What side of town is you on? Like, but you asking these little kids and you driving. What is wrong with you? You know what I mean? So it is worse. It is 1,000 times worse. Because you can't. I'm not afraid of anything. But I never had to be so look over everywhere, and I don't even do nothing. I'm not a member. I don't do nothing. I'm not real though. I'm a mom. I'm a mom, and I care, but I don't do anything to make somebody want to come. I ain't shooting up nobody's houses. I ain't none of that. But I have to pay attention when I go in my house. Before, when we were younger. We was outside playing in between the daggone trucks.
2 in the morning, playing in the grass, playing football, basketball court outside.
Grandparents, mom and them outside, drinking, chilling.
About your house getting shot up for real. It's a slim to none. Now, man, it's like you don't know if your house finna get shot up. You don't know if you finna get killed walking outside, checking the mailbox, the trash. It is worse. And it's like, don't play with nobody, underestimate. Like, I know some people, it's confidential, but man, they is babies with the biggest assault rifle ever on that type of time with people. And I just be like, bro, you don't see nothing else? Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I'm on that. My such and such died. I done went through this. I don't care. I'm in tour with them, and you'll be like, bro, it ain't even worth all that. They ain't trying to hear nothing you talking about. It's like you wasting your time. But it's like, I wouldn't give up on them, though.
There you go.
I would never give up. I give
There you go.
your distance, and then I come and try again. Like, bro, you ain't got tired of that shit? But it's like, it's only so much you could do.
But you know they gonna get tired of that game, because it ain't like we know angels. You know what I'm saying? We just grown now, gang.
And
we done been through shit, bro. We done been to prison, bro. We done been shot at numerous occasions. I done been shot, like, but you get tired of that shit. But we got kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just
how we did it. It's like we was the same, and then when we got older, it's like, all right, we got tired. They got the stage to where it's like it's wild, and it's like, man, stop now.
They're y'all at that age.
Stop now, because the way it's going, it's like it ain't gonna stop with this era right here with these kids. So it's like, stop them now before it just be.
Cause it's like, damn, what is it gonna get to? Now you got a 12-year-old boy just got killed. You got little kids out here killing each other. Like, what the fuck? They gonna be 7 years old walking around with guns and shit, shooting people? What the fuck?
13 and the rest of your life gone.
Like, I gotta, like Fazo, bro. Fazo got 65 years, gang.
And he was 15.
13.
13 and got 65 years.
Damn. 13.
Our early experiences teach our brain what to expect from the world around us, so there is heightened stress in early environments. The timing of these early exposures have disproportionate effects on brain development. Traumatic childhood experiences put significant pressure on the developing brain and affect how and when a developing brain will feel unsafe. Remember, young brains are designed to learn everything they can about their environment, to aid in survival over the long term. From this perspective, it's easy to understand why we carry feelings of unsafety or always being on edge with us into adulthood.
Adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, are a few examples of traumatic events that can occur in childhood. An important study in the late 1990s was the first to identify relationships between early experiences and medical outcomes later in life. These doctors were very interested in preventing illness, so the study chose 10 largely preventable experiences. This does not mean that those 10 are the only experiences that will be considered an ACE. There are many different types of experiences that are considered ACEs. The ACEs of the original study included substance abuse, parental divorce, mental illness, emotional and physical neglect, and emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. ACEs are very common in the United States, and about 64% of adults have at least one ACE.
These adverse events are clearly stressful, and can be considered by asking the question, where did the autonomic nervous system spend the majority of its time during development? Does the world of the young child allow for parasympathetic pathways to lead and balance brain and body development? Or does the world of the young child force the brain and body systems into sympathetic fight, flight, or freeze functions for a disproportionate amount of development? Adults know what stress feels like in their bodies. Now imagine all of these feelings in the tiny body of an infant, toddler, child, or teenager. If bodies carry that weight of stress with them through the majority of their development, it becomes easier to understand how this constant level of pressure can increase the risk of health problems later on in life. Some of these ACE-attributable health problems include alcoholism, heart disease, obesity, depression, drug abuse, intimate partner violence, smoking, and mental health problems.
So ACEs push little bodies into states where their sympathetic fight, flight, or freeze responses dominate both brain and body function. Little bodies absolutely need and are expectant of consistent supportive care. This responsive care can buffer little bodies from the persistent activation of the sympathetic pathways by activating the parasympathetic counterbalance of safety. In the absence of this buffer, the cumulative impact of ACEs can cause toxic stress. When toxic stress is experienced during critical developmental years, it can change how the brain and body respond to stress over the long term. Thus, what begins as adaptations to stressful or unsafe environments in early life can start to work against us as we age, creating negative coping mechanisms from stress in adult life. These negative coping mechanisms include some of the ACE-attributable health risks we discussed earlier. For example, alcoholism, drug abuse, and obesity.
This diagram illustrates how much ACEs contribute to the overall population diagnosis of mental and behavioral health issues in the United States. For example, 55.7% of adults experiencing anxiety disorders can be explained by the ACEs from their childhood. Another way of saying this is, if we could eliminate ACEs, we could also eliminate 55.7% of anxiety diagnoses. As the medical field learns more about how young bodies adapt to ACEs, advances in the field of brain science help us understand how young brains adapt as well. Advances in human brain imaging allow scientists to explore relationships between childhood abuse and neglect and later life brain function. Many studies have now shown that childhood maltreatment changes the brain structure and function in a variety of ways depending on the type, timing, and duration of the maltreatment.
This pattern can be illustrated with the example of verbal abuse. Imagine a young world filled with yelling, insults, and verbal humiliation and demoralization. Not so safe for a tiny brain and body, so the young brain adapts. The chronic experience of verbal abuse changes the brain's ability to process speech sounds, protecting the young brain by reducing the brain's ability to be consciously aware of the use of language being used around it. Human brain imaging has also shown that chronic verbal abuse correlates with a weaker communication between the primary areas of the brain that process the sounds of speech and parts of the brain that process what those sounds actually mean in language and communication.
This research of verbal abuse demonstrates that specific types of abuse result in adaptations that are specific to the parts of the brain associated with processing that environmental information. By diminishing the brain's conscious recognition of language sounds, these early adaptations can also affect a child's school readiness and reading ability later in life. Brain imaging studies like this drive home the importance of early experiences and demonstrate the depth to which these developing brain adapts to its environment. Cumulatively, these studies can also highlight that early survival adaptations can start to cause friction for the brain's success as one ages.
While gun violence is not listed on the list of ACEs, if you consider the impact of gun violence on brain development, specifically the balance between the parasympathetic and sympathetic threat, it's easier to understand why children that grew up in an environment with gun violence tend to show a greater sympathetic reaction to threats. Through repeated experience, this early environment taught young systems to react. Children develop this hypervigilance as a survival tool to stay alive in dangerous environments, such as neighborhoods with gun violence.
Additionally, Under this sympathetic dominance, the brain adapts to manage an unsafe world, while simultaneously still being dependent upon the people around it for survival. How does a young brain make sense of violence? If violence is used as the primary way to address conflicts in the home and the community, then the most likely option for a young brain to learn is that violence is the way to address conflicts.
Even when there is no longer violence, this early learning tends to be maintained in the brain's architecture and will predispose individuals to be more reactive to stress and threats, unless alternative strategies to manage stress are learned.
In conclusion, fortunately, the human brain has the incredible power of resilience to adapt, learn, and grow from adverse experiences. Resilience is amplified through positive relationships with others, especially with community support, through social cohesion and collective mindset.
Connect to Be the Change is an excellent example of how supportive groups can increase resilience and enact positive change in their community through group therapy and empowerment workshops and out-of-town trips.
In an uncertain world full of adverse experiences and environments, it is reassuring to see local community organizations, such as Connect to Be the Change, foster a fulfilling community with resilience at the forefront.